My name's Angel. What's yours?
Screw you.
My name is Angel. What's yours?
Griff.
Good start.
It was one of the most beloved supernatural spin-offs ever made.
You're not human.
Newsflash, pal. You're a bit off the evolutionary chart yourself.
In 1999, Angel broadened the Buffyverse by sending everyone's favorite vampire with a soul to Los Angeles to become a private detective.
You telling me you're an investigator?
More or less.
Where's your license?
That's the less part.
And to start redeeming his dark past one case at a time.
Angel's right.
I'm weak? And how was it I killed him?
Inefficiently.
That's nice, Dad.
20 years later, EW is bringing the cast of Angel back together for an unforgettable reunion.
Wow. Yeah, right? It was kind of cool. We just walked in, said hi pretty quick, and just kind of picked up, I feel like, where we were last time we talked to each other.
Ready for season 6.
Yeah.
You made a very big mistake coming here.
You don't know who he is, do you? Oh boy, you're about to get your ass kicked.
The story of Angel began back in the late 90s with Buffy the Vampire Slayer creator Joss Whedon and co-executive producer David Greenwalt.
Well, Joss Whedon and I were doing Buffy together. Obviously, he created a great show, Buffy. Episode 7 of Buffy was the first time that Angel was going to kiss Buffy. And I said, oh, I'll write that, not thinking that would be such a big deal.
What? What's wrong?
And it was a huge deal. It blew up so huge. Now looking back, it seems obvious. And I think we did about 3 years of Buffy, and Mr. Whedon came down to my office one night, and he said, would you like to spin off Angel into its own show and do it together?
You're him, right? You're the guy. The vampire with the soul?
I'm Angel.
Yeah.
The title role of the brooding vampire with a soul turned private investigator was played by David Boreanaz. The 30-year-old actor had been a Buffy regular since episode 1.
Why are you following me?
I know what you're thinking. Don't worry. I don't bite.
I was at home living in North Hollywood, and I got a phone call that Joss wanted to talk to me. And the only thing he said was, I want you to come into my office tomorrow. And I'm like, I'm fired.
We're in trouble.
I'm in trouble. And he said, it's not a bad thing. Just come in the office. But he didn't tell me over the phone. So I'm like, I had a night of like, clawing and angst. And like, you know, I got into work and we were doing a flashback. So it was Angelus and he was in this Irish thing. And I was working this Irish accent that was horrible.
The Lord is very forgiving. Tell me your sins.
And the wig, you know, and I was like in the middle doing something. It was finally lunch. I gotta go see Joss, and I'm sitting across from him, and he said, "Oh, come sit down." And we talked a little in my wig. I'm like, I'm just about to work, man. And I think we started talking about the Grateful Dead. That's all we really talked about. And then he's like, "Yeah, we're thinking about, you know, spinning your character off." And I'm like, "All right." And I'm just concerned about my accent that I'm supposed to do in the scene. Like, I'm like terrified.
The Lord has a plan for all creatures. Even a devil child like you.
But I remember the day, and I just remember that I just wanted to get back to work and get the scene done. And Joss was great. He was just like, you know, if it doesn't work out, you can come back to the Buffy universe, because we all came from the Buffy universe. And so that's what I remember.
Buffy has this wonderful purpose and fights evil, but still wants to go to the prom and get the right dress.
Buffy, you look awesome.
Angel is a much darker, in a sense, more complex character.
Hey, I'm home.
We had two such different characters. And obviously, you know, the great metaphor in Buffy was how people feel in high school. And you could feel so insignificant that you literally turn invisible.
This isn't this great power that she can control. It's something that was done to her.
And in Angel, it's much more a deeper, darker story about addiction and redemption. He's a vampire with a soul, but if he ever knows a moment of pure happiness, he goes evil.
I just wanted us both to be happy.
Oh, but I am happy.
You are?
Yes.
Ah!
Perfectly happy.
He doesn't really have a purpose in the way that I'm gonna find redemption and get better, if you will, but he's just gonna rub the record out one day at a time till he's no longer on the planet. So we thought, well, let's do a Raymond Chandler, a dark noir thing, and we'll put him in LA, we'll put him in a big old, well, the first year he was in an office, but eventually we put him in a big old deco hotel.
This is a house of evil. Not anymore.
And these stories will be darker, and more important, he'll be darker. He's a character really searching for redemption.
I want to find the guy that killed Tina, and I want to look him in the eye.
Then what?
Then I'm going to share my feelings.
I think they wanted to do this Los Angeles big city thing and make it a bit more adult-oriented, and I was excited and thought it was great. I mean,
Dark and brooding.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
Down. I mean, he's mysterious.
Yes.
It's a great character.
Yeah, like
Very comic booky.
Cordelia?
Oh my God, Angel?
Nice to see a familiar face.
So basically the second thing I said to Joss was, we got to bring Cordelia with us. And we sat Charisma Carpenter down, and she was pretty excited, but she was like, but if it flops, can I go back to Buffy? And we said, yes, you can.
I am somebody. I matter.
Charisma Carpenter co-starred as Cordelia Chase, the Sunnydale cheerleader turned struggling actress. The 29-year-old had been a supporting player through 3 seasons of Buffy, but received second billing in the spinoff and the brand new supernatural power of psychic vision.
Guys? How she changed so much. And I remember when I was told that they were, well, Greenie was the impetus, I think, for Cordelia coming over, because they felt that Angel was this moody, dark, brooding, mysterious, you know, tall, handsome guy. And I think what happens when you bring a character like Cordelia, a big, bright smile, to this dark, you know, thing, it provides a sort of conflict or contrast that makes it interesting.
All we have to do is decide what the code will be. The installation guy said it should be something easy to remember, like my birthday.
I don't know your birthday.
Yeah, tell me something you don't know that I don't know.
You know, he's older and he just doesn't have time for my nonsense, you know, and it's just like whatever. But then a friendship develops and he gets used to me, and then it's sort of weird when I'm not around.
I love you. And you ought to do that more often.
So that was the greatest joy for me, and I think probably one of the leading reasons why she grew to be deeper and more complex. But ultimately, I think was, you know, Hero was the episode where Cordelia got her visions, which was the ultimate growth period, because I think from
visions
pain,
were the best.
pain, we have a whole
Christopher
thing.
Walken, like, ah, Jesus.
Now, same.
I didn't know you said that. I didn't know you felt. I mean, I didn't know how. Like, I think one time I kicked you in the cojones.
Yes, you did.
I didn't mean to. I'm so in it. You know, like,
it was a strong.
Like, you know. I don't know what it was like on your end. It must have been ridiculous to see.
No, it was cool. It was cool.
But,
Hold me.
Look, why don't we just...
no.
The WB loved what Whedon and Greenwalt pitched and immediately greenlit the series.
We were given 12 episodes on the air. It was a great situation, you know, just by Joss and I going and saying, we'll spin it off. And Joss directed the pilot, and we wrote the pilot together.
Go home.
Thank you.
Get away from me.
However, when they saw the second script, they being Warner Brothers, they completely freaked out, and they were right. Because in our effort to go dark, we went a little too dark. For example, he let the girl die and he was licking blood off the floor. And they were right, because you have to, if you're gonna go that dark, you have to earn it. So we shut down for a few weeks, we revamped some things, and we were off and running.
Wesley, I'll wager you never thought you'd see me again.
A little bit echoing in David's experience, you know, Joss calls and says, hey, I need to see you, and you think, uh-oh.
On Buffy, vampires were just metaphors for all of the problems that you have to get over in high school.
Now, this is not going to be pretty. We're talking violence, strong language, adult content.
So vampires are supposed to be dead. I mean, like, quickly killed off. And I think Angel was the one that broke that mold.
Come on. Don't go soft on me now.
And finally, there was a character that was complex enough that you could really take it to a whole nother theme and not just kill us off. So thank you.
In 1999, the WB greenlit Angel, a neo-noir spinoff of Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
This is a big deal.
I guess it is.
Producers Joss Whedon and David Greenwalt immediately asked David Boreanaz and Charisma Carpenter to be a part of the new series.
You made a good choice. She'll provide a connection to the world. She's got a very humanizing influence.
You think she's a hottie?
Yeah, she's a stiffener, all right. I can't lie about that.
The brand new role of Doyle, a half-demon with the heart of gold, went to Glenn Quinn.
Who are you?
Doyle.
You don't smell human.
Well, that's a bit rude.
The 29-year-old actor was best known for his 7 years on Roseanne, playing Becky's boyfriend and later husband, Mark Healy.
You don't want to have a baby and you hate your life. What's going on?
Nothing. I've just been thinking about things, and I got to talking to Mom tonight, and you know...
I knew it. I knew it. Your mother had something to do with this. Man, she's playing us like a fine wine.
Doyle really was a pretty darn good actor and brought a lot to the show. But then, of course, Alexis Denisof came on board very, very early on, and he completed that little triumvirate that we started with and that guy can do anything.
Hello, Angel.
33-year-old Alexis Denisof played the rogue demon hunter Wesley Wyndham Price, a character that had been recently introduced during season 3 of Buffy.
Hello.
New watcher?
New watcher.
Wesley Wyndham Price.
A little bit echoing in David's experience, you know, Joss calls and says, hey, I need to see you, and you think, uh-oh. But by that time, I'd already been laid out in the end of season 3. And they were already shooting by the time. They'd shot a couple of episodes by the time he had thought of the idea of introducing Wesley into that world, and I think I ultimately came in around, I don't know, episode 5 or 6.
Wesley, I'll wager you never thought you'd see me again. To tell you the truth, I hadn't given it much thought one way or the other.
Yep, I remember when he came in and we were going down a tunnel.
Yeah.
And he was this...
Yeah, that's right.
Remember? And you had this thing.
What do you... Up. I'm the one asking questions here.
Yeah.
And he was the glasses and he was like...
Yeah.
He was trying to... His character was being all brave.
Any sudden movement, and I'll be forced to... Right? You had a question?
But he was
still
the
Wesley.
It was great to watch that, like, kind of just took off. And
yeah, we talked about that. You know, when he was pretty young, we said, well, it can't be quite the Wesley that we left in Buffy, because that would almost be jarring. So he sort of came up with this, you know, summer of rebellion that Wesley had, and then he arrives on a motorcycle.
Come on, what are you waiting for?
With
so
bigger
great.
ideas of himself than he really has.
Do you even know where you're headed?
Rogue demon hunters rarely do.
And I think he was a foil, sort of a foil for the two, for these two to get, create some other colors in the storytelling, and then I think I'll just close with, I think other than bringing him in and fitting him in, there wasn't really a plan long term for him, and so and in the end I think that might have paid off in the best possible way, because every season the writers had to, well, what are we going to do with Wesley? You know, and when you put it all together, it ends up being an extraordinary roller coaster.
Hey, it's good you came, man.
He asked for me?
One of my favorite scenes we ever did is Angel comes to visit him in the hospital, and you think it's going to be a friendly thing, and Angel picks up a pillow and does his best to kill him.
Son of a bitch, you're gonna pay for what you did! You took my son! You son of a bitch, you bastard!
And those are the kind of twists and turns. And it was great for him to go really dark. It was great for his character, great for him to show some really cool acting chops as well.
Don't shoot!
What are you people playing at?
We're not playing.
You're gonna get yourselves killed.
We're gonna get you killed first.
J. August Richards joined the cast near the end of the first season. The 26-year-old actor was taking on a brand new character, Charles Gunn, a young, street-smart vampire hunter who winds up working for Angel Investigations.
Give me one good reason.
That'll be extremely dangerous.
Okay.
I mean, I was so nervous to start this job because, it was my first series regular job ever. I was a young actor, and, I really wanted to be on a show on the WB, and I knew of this show, and it had such a reverence out there in the world, and I knew they were adding this new character. He was supposed to be, sort of like a street ghetto youth a little bit.
Put him down. I know this fool.
So I felt like the furthest thing from that in real life, you know what I mean? So when I got the material, I just remember I was going in for the audition, and I remember calling my manager and saying, I don't know what to do with this character. I mean, he spends like 3 pages cursing out this vampire, saying he doesn't want to work with him, he hates all vampires, he doesn't want to mess with vampires.
For some reason, I'm getting the impression you don't like me too much.
And my manager was like, just go in, they might see something in you. I dyed my hair red because the head of the WB felt I was too clean cut for the role.
I didn't know
So
that.
I dyed my hair red.
What? That's crazy.
So right before I walked in the audition, I remember I saw Meryl Streep on Inside the Actor Studio. And she said, always investigate the opposite of what your character is saying. So right as I walked through the threshold to meet Joss and David Greenwald, I thought, oh my God, I don't dislike him. I really want to work with him, but I don't know how to say it. I've been so abused and so discarded that I really want to work with him. So I did it that way for the first time in front of Joss and David Greenwald.
Maybe I'm just overreacting.
What? You gonna pretend you different from the rest of them?
And I was done, and I remember feeling really good about it. And then Joss just looks at me and goes, now, is that a spray? And then I go, oh, yeah, it was just something I was trying out. And he goes, huh, my wife's hair is that color.
It don't matter why you here or what you are. But if you ever show your face down here again, don't count on any long goodbyes.
Angel debuted on October 5th, 1999, immediately after the season 4 premiere of Buffy. The spinoff was a success and soon became the 4th highest rated show on the WB.
Well, I assumed the show would be a success because I was working with Joss Whedon. And we did have established characters, so we weren't reinventing, the wheel there.
You see, this vampire, he thinks he's helping. Fighting the demons. Staying away from the humans so as not to be tempted. But he's cut off. From everything. From the people he's trying to help.
We did run into some issues in the first year, and Glenn Quinn played Doyle, went away after 9 episodes.
Too bad we'll never know. If this is a face you could learn to love.
And that's a very big thing, to kill a character 9 episodes in a new show that only has 3 characters in it. And yet what it's told the audience was, fasten your seatbelts, anything might happen on this show.
Don't lose hope. Come on over to our offices, and you'll see that there's still heroes in this world. Is that it? Am I done?
My character turned into a puppet.
Oh my God.
He had a good time with that.
What are you people looking at?
They're looking at the wee little puppet man.
Okay, gentlemen, take a good look around.
Now say goodbye.
Angel premiered in 1999 and quickly became one of the most popular shows on the WB.
I had a dream. I had a name.
Winifred.
During season 2, another new character was introduced.
You're the girl from Cordy's Vision.
What?
They called you Fred. You were studying to be a physicist.
Winifred Fred Burkle, a brilliant scientist held captive in an alternate dimension before being rescued by Team Angel.
Handsome man saved me from the monsters. Bye.
The role went to 23-year-old Amy Acker.
I had just moved to LA, so I had only been there about a month, and I got this audition, and then I was only supposed to do like 3 episodes. And then in the midst of that, they decided they were gonna add another girl to the show.
Why do girls want to look like that? I spent years in the cave starving. What's their excuse?
She was such a strong force to the cast because she, again, there's a sense of vulnerability to her character that was, again, what you were speaking of. There's contrast to this brooding guy.
Angel? I thought I heard company.
Go back to your room and stay there.
Okay, then.
You know, like there's humor and contrast and like what surrounds this character of what's happening, and she just was so cute, and and then she grew and became like this blue person.
I'm ready to begin.
She was cute but tough. That was the great.
Yeah,
that was the tension, right?
Yes.
That she had this like inner drive.
I am Illyria, God King of the Primordium, shaper of things.
Yeah, well, that was then. This is.
No.
Yes. Nothing's what it used to be, is it?
I remember thinking there was no way you were going to be able to play Illyria because he was such a nice person. And then we shot together.
Unimpressive.
I was like, oh my God, you're terrified.
Yeah, it's like
you were
Catwoman.
so good.
You came out of the library like, ready to go.
I did. I mean, that was another funny story because the kind of Joss, it seems to be an echo of like, hey, can you meet me for coffee tomorrow? And I'm like, oh, they're firing me. And he said, we sat down at coffee and he said, I'm just wanting you to know I'm killing Fred.
Please. Wesley. Why can't I stay?
And then I was like, okay, like fine. And he waited like really a long time
likes to
before
do that.
before he said, you're still gonna be on the show. And then I think at your wedding, he gave me like scenes for Illyria.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Wow.
Wow.
He's like, here's some scenes for Illyria.
As you wish.
Midway through season 3, the producers decided to give Angel a son.
Angel. It's the one good thing we ever did together. You make sure to tell him that.
Baby Connor grew up quickly and was played by Vincent Kartheiser.
Hi, Dad.
The 23-year-old actor was still 5 years away from landing his breakout role as Pete Campbell on Mad Men.
You look like $100. Ready to go sweet talk some retail Jews?
You were tough to take first thing in the morning, Pete.
I've never had any complaints.
Connor, Angel's son, Vincent Kartheiser, I'm not saying his name right, but went on to wonderful things in Mad Men, and he's doing wonderful things today.
If you need a place to stay, I have to go.
But he was about 19, I think, when he wasn't a little baby, you know.
You're not alone. You know that, right? Yeah. I know.
But the idea of him having a son, and then, you know, he's sort of seduced or stolen away from Angel by this other character.
I've always told you the truth about what your parents were. How you and I came to be together. God gave me to you. Yes.
It was just great for Angel to have to go through even more living hell.
Dad, what are you doing here? We're family, and I wanted to show you how I feel about that.
I mean, I know for me, I feel like we just got so spoiled because the writing and the writers on the show are so great that for that being my first job, I'm like, well, every show should be this much fun, and you get to do all the things, the drama and the comedy and the fighting and everything, so.
Take your best shot, little girl.
No, David Greenwalt just took us to so many incredible places over those years. There are so many favorite moments, it's really hard to say.
Once upon a time, there was a vampire. And he was the meanest vampire in all the land.
Well, I always go back to the pilot because it's the inception of the show. And I remember doing the Steadicam shot in downtown Los Angeles when me and Quinny were doing this shot.
It's not just saving lives, it's saving souls. Hey, possibly your own process.
And he was telling me, man, you got to do this Angel Investigations, man. You got to help the helpless.
Oh, why me?
Well, because you got potential. And the balance sheet ain't exactly in your favor yet.
Well, why you?
We all got something to atone for.
And it was touching because it was a guy that, for me, Glenn played a great character, also became a really close friend of mine. So it was just kind of like this fusion of seeing it all come together.
I'm not good with people.
Well, that's the whole point of this little exercise, isn't it? You game?
And I remember the office, and it was so sweet.
Okay, first thing, we need to call an exterminator. And a sign painter. We should have a name on the door.
It was like 3 misfits, and it was really special. So for me, it was the pilot.
Deep down, we all know our purpose in this world.
Are you saying I was meant to be an actress?
No, I'm saying you're meant to be an incredibly famous and wealthy actress.
I have to go back to the Cordy episode, I guess, where she got a sitcom.
The 2-time Emmy-winning star of our show, the gal with the $1 million smile, Cordelia Chase.
Because I think that's like my dream job anyway. I'd like to know what that lifestyle's like. Because, you know, 16-hour days in a stinky alley with people yelling at you to let them sleep. I've done that, so now it's like lighter and brighter would be cool.
Hey, great show, Corey.
Thanks, you too.
Okay, there are stars, and then there is you.
Ah, that's sweet, Nev. Am I paying you enough?
But I think that was a great episode.
What's going on?
I liked when I think it was Andy's episode where we were really drunk and high.
It's important. It's so beautiful.
But wait a minute, what about when he turned into a kid, like a young vampire?
Okay, that's my favorite.
I'm invisible.
No, you're not.
That's my second favorite.
Get through that day. He runs in, he's seen automobiles for the first time.
Yes.
And his little face is terrified.
Clear.
Demons!
I couldn't get through the scene.
How many? Hundreds. Screaming.
Joss was so angry with me because we couldn't get past your entrance.
What type of demons would you say? Shiny?
That one was called Spin the Bottle, and that was one of my favorites for the same reason that my favorite is my favorite, which was the ballet episode.
Oh my God,
Josh directed that episode, and what I loved about that episode was that we were almost all in the same scenes together for the entire episode.
So somebody want to tell me how we're watching a show starring people who should have died 60 years ago?
We were all together for like the 8 days. We rarely split up.
I loved it.
And Josh was directing, and those are my favorite episodes when we're like all together. So Spin the Bottle and the ballet episode.
We did this explosion in Paramount Studios. It was the back lot. I was running out of the building, and we blew up this building. Well, we loaded that thing up, and we flooded Roswell's stages. We literally, after the explosion, the fire department was there. Kelly Manners was like squirting hose. I was helping put the fire out. The next morning, he got a call, and it was like, you flooded the Roswell stages. It was crazy.
Yeah, that was nuts.
That was a big explosion.
That was epic.
Yeah.
A little too big. Oh, there's a problem.
Angel? Is that you?
There was an episode where Angel became a puppet,
Angel, you're cute.
and that's one of my very favorite shows of all time.
Clearly some sort of hex or powerful warding magic.
Maybe some type of puppet cancer.
I do not have puppet cancer.
When I was a puppet, my character turned into a puppet. He had a good time with that.
What are you people looking at?
They're looking at the wee little puppet man.
That was the best.
What did you do that week? What did you do?
I was under the table. I was doing the dialogue for all the scenes under the table by the puppet.
Yes, I'm a puppet. Doesn't mean you don't have work to do.
I was by the little puppeteer.
I was too busy laughing at the puppet to hear what you were saying.
Angel, do you realize what's happening? You've made a deal with the devil.
Oh, come on, Cordy. You're being a little over dramatic. It's not that.
I gotta go. Everything's in place. I'll drop the paperwork.
My all-time favorite is You're Welcome, even though that's my last episode.
You'll win this in the end. I just wish I could be there to see it.
I kind of got to do everything in that episode, and I got to wrap up a lot of relationships.
I can't stay. This isn't me anymore.
Got to say things to Angel that we never got to say.
Powers that be owed me one, and I didn't waste it. I got my guy back on track.
Corey, it's just
We take what we can get, champ. And we do our best with it.
You know, and that was a very powerful scene at the last scene when I say, and you're welcome.
That you have to get. Oh, and you're welcome.
It's funny because I said the line, you're welcome, and you're welcome, you know, like Cordy normally would, like all up. And I was like, oh, that just feels so wrong. Like it just doesn't, and then when you see the final, like, thank God I'm not in charge, because it really, really worked out.
But that's impossible. She's standing right.
It hit you more, I think. I think it was more heartbreaking, the way that it did go.
Thank you.
You might have thought by that point, well, Spike coming in now, and yet it was fantastic.
Spike. Party's over.
You brought a vampire to my brother's bachelor party?
Angel premiered in 1999, and for 4 straight years, loyal fans tuned in to watch Team Angel slay demons and save the innocent. Then, in season 5, they were rewarded with the return of one of the Buffyverse's most beloved characters.
My soul. It's really there.
Spike, the bad boy vampire, played by 37-year-old James Marsters, had died a heroic death during Buffy's epic series finale. But the fan favorite was resurrected just in time for Angel's season 5 premiere.
Spike.
I signed up in a heartbeat, and knowing that I could come over on Angel and be a fly in the ointment again, I was just over the moon. The two characters just gelled like right away. There was just so much rocket fuel, so to speak.
I bet you're loving this, aren't you?
Knowing you'll be haunting me till the end of time. It's a dream come true.
You might have thought by that point, well, Spike coming in now, and yet it was fantastic when Spike came into the...
I'm a little bittersweet about that.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming in, but God damn it.
I know, because I owe my career to you.
Oh.
Because you went over on Angel. Wow. I was supposed to be on Buffy. I was supposed to be the new Cordelia. I was supposed to be...
I thought that was Emma.
Well, because I didn't work out. I was supposed to be the character that tells Buffy, you're stupid and we're all about to die.
This is the crack team that foils my every plan. I am deeply shamed.
And that's why I was signed to come into the show in season 4 as a regular finally. And then they tried to get me into the room to tell Buffy that she was stupid, but I was a vampire, so I'd always be lighting on fire, and I'd always be like running into the set with a smoking blanket, and the crew was complaining. And I remember thinking, I'm toast. I'm like, they can't get me in the room. And then they found Emma, and I'm like, I'm dead.
What part of help me do you not understand?
The part where I help you.
So I was jealous of David because I had a girlfriend who was jealous of me and Drusilla because Juliet Landau and I got to be good friends. We never were more than that, but we were good friends. And I had a girlfriend at the time that just couldn't stand that, so she said that she had a crush on David. So I was over the moon jealous of him.
Took it out on me on scene.
But that's the thing, is that led into the jealousy of Spike for Angel in general. And Spike wants Angel so badly to say, oh, you're cool too. You know, but I don't think you ever, or maybe you did, I don't know. But there's this big brother kind of thing going on.
You and me, we're gonna be the best of friends.
Well, I think what was so great was that at that point, this team is like clicking really well. We've had our problems, you know, in and out over the years. And then we have the thorn here that's undermining.
What the hell are you doing here, Spike?
Harmony, please.
This is Spike. The Spike?
Well, Wesley would go, Spike is here. I remember seeing her, he comes in doing this thing, and all of a sudden he notices, and then he keeps going and goes, whoa!
Okay, would somebody please tell me who?
William the Bloody, he's a vampire. One of the worst recorded, second only to me.
I remember that moment, and you were like, it was the funniest moment.
No, but it was good for the, like, it was good to have that obstacle.
Yeah, because you guys all gel because, like, at least we're not that bad.
Spike. You've heard of me? No. We've met. Killed 2 of my men before you escaped.
Oh. How have you been?
And yet we had to, yet again, make a new team out of it, and I think the show does that so well. It kind of works through the differences, and then something stronger comes out of the group as a result.
All right, what is it this time? Uber vamps, demon gods, devil robots?
My favorite episode was where we were running around looking for Buffy, who was dating Dracula.
It's Buffy.
Were we in Europe or no? That was
I
another
have
one.
no idea. But for the first time, we were on level playing field.
Okay.
Hop on, little mama. I'm not riding on the back. He's getting away.
We were both being cuckolded, and we were suddenly could understand each other.
Shall we just go home? Oh, God, yes.
But my favorite scene was when we went to hell. I think you were in this.
Angel's life, a little moody. Get Lindsay to the car. Go, now!
And we were coming out, we were shooting in Simi Valley, and the gag was that we run out of the house.
Did we have a car?
And we see cars coming in, and they shoot at us with shotguns.
Yes.
And I cover up everyone else because I can get shot, and it's not that big of a, kind of sucks, but anyway. So I cover everyone up, and we run back in the house, and that's the gag. And so they put full-loaded squibs on my back, which are really pretty powerful, and if you catch one of those in the face, it'll split your face open. It's really not good. And they gave me the button for the discharge, and they said, don't do this as you're running out of the house because everyone's behind you and you'll kill them. So don't do that. And then first take, action, we come barreling out of the house, and they put way too much dynamite in the flower beds that were around us, and the whole set just exploded. Boom! And there's leaves and dirt and rocks flying up like 20 feet. And I remember the shock of all that. I'm like, don't kill anybody, because it was really jarring. So I didn't kill anybody, and I'm glad that we're here together.
And in terms of a plan, we fight.
I remember walking off, and my dad was there, and I took my chair, and I walked off with my dad, and that was it.
Yep.
It was kind of a cool moment.
It was a great moment.
Yeah.
Okay, so what did everybody keep?
I have,
what did you
I have the steak, the 100th episode.
You have a steak?
I have the high school diploma that's burned.
I only have a golden armadillo that was on my desk in season 5.
Oh, yeah, cool. I remember that.
I have my hubcap axe. I have it. It wound up in my car on the last day. I didn't put it there.
How did that happen?
I don't know. I did, yes. It's actually my first tweet ever is with me with my hubcap axe.
Oh,
yeah.
I have the boots, and I have the card, Wesley Wyndham Price.
Oh, nice.
With the address, the Hyperion Hotel that they had made, props had made.
Angel investigation cards.
Yeah, Angel investigation.
Yeah, those are easy. Yeah, those are just kind of like.
What do you got? Do you have your trench coat?
I have the original.
You
yeah,
do?
I do.
Oh, sweet.
I have
like
that
an airlocked.
No, it's in the bottom of
like
the
an
closet.
Elvis
rolled up.
suit. That
No. It's just kind of.
Okay.
It's in the closet.
Balled up.
It's
That's
just I don't
amazing.
know.
But do you have your coat?
Nothing, not a damn thing.
Yes, you do. Come on.
I wish to do more violence.
Well, wishes just happen to be horses today, among other things.
Angel was one of the most watched shows on the WB for 5 straight seasons. But on May 19th, 2004, the beloved spinoff came to an end with an emotional series finale that was punctuated with the ultimate cliffhanger.
And in terms of a plan, we fight. Let's go to work.
People used to ask me, do you think you guys lived through that? I'm like, no, that was the whole point. We knew we were going to die.
I don't think we died. I think we kicked ass, man.
In the comic books, we're like, oh, it worked out.
I love it. I thought the cliffhanger's great. I think it's an unknown story, and I really think that it shows the battle that we are going up against and have been always.
Like, I think if Angel is about redemption.
Never give up.
If Angel is a character that starts as an evil person and is trying to make up for that and become a hero, there's nothing more heroic than going into an unwinnable battle and willing to die just to try.
Well, personally, I kind of want to slay the dragon.
Obviously, it was a hard closure for us because this is a tight group and it was a tight show, and that crew was unbelievable. And there are so many, we could be here all day naming the people we loved and who gave their all for it. But what I loved that the show kind of runs off into a blackout, leaves it open for the viewer to participate in whatever way they want. Because, you know, for all of this, the other character in the story is the person watching the story, watching the show.
And you stay in the conversation, you know, did they or didn't they?
Yeah, and it still is discussed. We can speculate. I think that's the strength of that finale.
How'd I know the Fang boys would pull through? Me personally, I felt like I said goodbye to the character and those characters right there in that alleyway at 5 o'clock in the morning when we were done. You're lucky we're on the same side, dogs, because I was on fire tonight. Whatever happened after that, I didn't participate in, I didn't read it, I don't personalize it, because for me it ended right there.
Yep, I agree.
Boom, there it is. You said it.
I remember walking off and my dad was there, and I took my chair and I walked off with my dad, and that was it. Nice. It was kind of a cool moment.
It was a great moment.
Yeah.
Great. We could do a movie.
It'd be fun.
We
Yeah.
could do a movie.
I think it would be
But
right.
I mean, I'm dead. Would you guys bring me back? Can
Yes.
I be part of the movie?
Oh,
Of course,
the line of death is so thin in this universe.
Look at that shot.
It's been 15 years since the series finale, but Angel remains one of the most beloved shows in the history of the WB.
That's nice, yeah.
And for fans hoping for a reboot, anything's possible in the Buffyverse.
I'd like to just be roaring down freaking highway in like a '68 Mustang and just being, you know, I don't know. I think the fascination of it is that you can really go anywhere with it. I mean, I do. I really do. I just think it's be fun to do a crazy kind of cool, freaking badass independent
movie.
It'd be fun.
We
Yeah.
could do a movie.
I think it would be
But
right.
I mean,
for-
I'm dead. Would you guys bring me back? Can
Yes.
I be part of the movie?
Oh,
Of course,
the line of death is so thin in this universe.
Great.
Buffy really changed my life. And then Angel changed it once again. We worked very, very hard, but it was always so much fun. We were like, you know, the kids putting on a show in the old red barn. And we worked around the clock and weekends, and it was never hard in that sense, you know. It was wonderful. It was very, it gave back a lot more than we gave it.
So serious, man, aren't you? I think that there's such strength in all of these characters, and they struggle, and they find redemption somehow. And it's not till you're at your lowest that you find that sense of simplicity in yourself.
Yeah, I think anybody that wakes up and realizes that they wish they'd have been a better person before and wants to chart a new path, this show's for them.
For me, it's also moving when people of color come up to me and say, I really responded to your character in that piece because at that time there weren't people that looked like you, that looked like me in that genre. And so I'm always really moved by that, and you know, that's something that I take from the show that's very important to me.
When you hear people come up and say they love the show, they still continue to follow it, that resonates with them, and it resonates with new fans that will follow the show and watch it and go to the archives, and it's great to be a part of that.